Great work, MAGA Mike Johnson. It seems that the government is going to have yet another shutdown because MAGA Mike sent the House of Representatives home for a vacation. And even though the Senate appears poised to enter into a horrible compromise to keep the government opened in order to pass this appropriations bill, which I'll talk about in a second, because there are some alterations to the House appropriations bill. The Senate bill has to get sent back to the House, where they have to pass an identical copy of the Senate bill. But guess what? MAGA Mike's been too busy partying with Nicki Minaj and doing other things that have nothing to do with the American people that the House of Representatives is no longer in Washington, D.C. They are on vacation yet again. So let's talk about what's going down. Now, MAGA Mike says, by the way, he's going to call the House back and they're going to try to make it by Sunday. But lots of people are saying we can't make it back by Sunday. So I think the earliest a vote is going to take place on this compromise, which I'll talk about in a moment, because I do not like this compromise, would be putting it lightly. In fact, I despise it. But in any event, people won't get back Sunday or Monday, and a shutdown will take place Saturday at 12 a.m. So here's what we believe is happening right now, that Senate GOP leaders have hotlined, as Andrew Desiderio says, have hotlined a new funding agreement. 5 funding bills paired with a 2-week CR, continuing resolution for the Department of Homeland Security. Amendment requests are now rolling in. So what does that mean? What MAGA Mike tried to do is do this minibus that put all of these different department fundings together in one, including the Department of Homeland Security, which has additional funding for ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo. What the Senate said, because the Democrats were opposing and rejecting additional funding to ICE and Border Patrol, is let's remove the Department of Homeland Security funding in total, since the Democrats opposed them. Let's pass the 5 appropriations bills that don't involve Department of Homeland Security, so those 5 get passed. Excise those, pass those. Then separately, do what's called a continuing resolution regarding the Department of Homeland Security just for a 2-week period. So the rest gets passed and is funded for the appropriate period of time. The DHS, which funds Border Patrol and ICE, that just gets funded for 2 more weeks, while then the Democrats say we're going to, in the Senate, Schumer and all the other people say, then we're going to negotiate for the things that we want to do with respect to ICE and Border Patrol, that you have to get rid of the masks of the Border Patrol agents, and they have to wear body cams and better training. In my view, you can't compromise with authoritarians. ICE and Border Patrol need to be abolished. The individuals who have been terrorizing and torturing communities need to be prosecuted.